I can see you drinking your drink over there. Thank you for coming back to the Legends Leaving channel. Today, May 21st, we come together again to honor some famous people who died today or not long ago. Through their work in the arts, these people have left an indelible mark on our minds and on the world. While we remember their lives, we send our deepest condolences to their families and friends. Peace out. Their stories may have moved you, or the extraordinary lives they lived may have moved you. Please show your respect and remember them by liking this movie. Thanks for living in our neighborhood. Ivan Frederick Bosky was an American stock trader who was born March 6, 1937, and died May 20th, 2024. He was famous for his part in an insider trading scam in the mid-1980s. Bosky admitted guilt, paid a $100 million fine, went to jail for 3 years, and then turned state's witness. He was born in Detroit, Michigan, and went to Cranbrook School and Mumford High School. He finished from Detroit College of Law in 1965, even though he didn't have an undergraduate degree. In 1986, Bosky lost everything when he admitted to using private information from investment bankers Robert Wilkes and Ira Sokolow for deals with companies like Nabisco Brands and R.J. Reynolds. Because he worked with the SEC, other investors like Michael Milken were brought to light. Bosky got 3.5 years in jail and a $100 million fine as part of his plea deal. He was locked up for 2 years at the Lompoc Federal Prison Camp in California and was never allowed to work in the securities business again. The CNBC program Empires of New York showed parts of Bosky's life. He died on May 20th, 2024. George Raymond Stevenson was a Northern Irish actor who was born on May 25th, 1964, and died on May 24th, 2017. He was best known for his parts as Dagonet in King Arthur in 2004 and as Titus Pullo in the BBC HBO series Rome from 2005 to 2007. He played Frank Castle from Marvel Comics, The Punisher in Punisher Warzone 2008, and Volstagg from 2011 to 2017 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Kill the Irishman 2011, The Three Musketeers 2011, and RR 2022, where he played Governor Scott, are some of his other well-known movies. Some TV parts he had were Blackbeard and Black Sails, Isaac Serco and Dexter Gargar Saxon in Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars, and Balin Skull and Ahsoka. He was married to actress Ruth Gemmell for 8 years and had 3 sons with Elisabetta Carraccia, an Italian archaeologist. In 1964, he was born in Lisburn, Northern Ireland. When he was 8 years old, his family moved to England. He went to Bath Lane College and the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School and graduated when he was 29 years old. His first movie was 1998's The Theory of Flight. The short film No Man's Land 2002 and the movie King Arthur 2004 brought him a lot of attention. Stevenson's first lead part in a movie was in Outpost 2008. In the same year, he also played a lead role in Punisher. He played gangster Danny Green in Kill the Irishman 2011 and Volstagg and Thor. In 2011, he played Porthos in The Three Musketeers. In 2013, he played Firefly in GI, Joe Retaliation, and from 2014 to 2016, he played different parts in the Divergent series. Stevenson's first movie in India was RRR 2022. Stevenson passed away on May 21st at the age of 58. He had been hospitalized while shooting Casino in Ischia, Italy. Dominic Purcell took over his part. The first episode of Ahsoka, which came out in 2024, was dedicated to him. He was praised by his co-stars, such as Rosario Dawson, Scott Adkins, and James Purfoy. John Klinger, May 14th, 1984, and May 20th, 2024, German professional wrestler, better known by his ring name Bad Bones, who had a big effect on the wrestling scene around the world. Klinger started fighting in 2004 and has since been in a number of independent events in the U.S., England, Japan, Israel, and Europe. He was the WXW Unified World Heavyweight Champion and the European Heavyweight Champion, among other titles. During his time, Bad Bones fought a lot of famous fighters. Spud for One Pro Wrestling, Andy Wilde for Discovery Wrestling, Mikey Whiplash and Johnny Moss for Insane Championship Wrestling, Rampage Brown for Progress Wrestling, and Josh Briggs for Evolve Wrestling. Also, Frankie Sloan for All-Star Wrestling. He first showed up in TNA on September 29th when he beat Karsten Kretschmer on the TNA First Impact Tour. He became even more well-known when he won the January 2011 TNA Gut Check in London. Bad Bones came back to TNA in February 2014 and took part in a number of fights. He lost a dark match against Christopher Daniels on February 1st. That night, he also lost to Samoa Joe on Impact Wrestling. The next night at TNA One Night Only Jokers Wild 2, Bones and Samoa Joe beat Christopher Daniels and Robbie E. in a qualifying match. Ethan Carter III won the $100 Jokers Wild Gauntlet match. Bones was chosen by Magnus to face Samoa Joe on the February 27th episode of Impact Wrestling, but he lost again. Bad Bones made his return to Impact Wrestling on February 24th, 2017, but he lost to the newcomer Josh Barnett. John Klinger died on May 20th, 2024, at the age of 40. He was famous for being fast and rough in the ring. Leon Lewis Poulter was an American actor who was born November 3rd, 1928, and died May 21st, 2017. He was best known for playing Isidore Straus in the 1997 movie Titanic. Poulter was born on November 3rd, 1928, in Brooklyn, New York City. He had a successful career in both theater and movies. After going to Tufts University and Alfred University to study, he got his Ph.D. in acting from Northwestern University. Poulter made a lot of contributions to theater. He acted in shows like The Mad Woman of Sheo and directed off-Broadway shows like Let Man Live and The Trial of Lucullus. In 1965, he also directed and produced plays at the Millbrook Playhouse and was in summer stock shows. Poulter showed off his acting skills on TV by making guest roles on shows like The A-Team, Charlie's Angels, and Columbo. Poulter also had parts in movies like The Steagle and First Monday in October, besides the famous part he played in Titanic. He taught acting at the CalArts School of Theater for many years and helped develop stars like Don Cheadle, Ed Harris, and Cecily Strong. Poulter's legacy goes beyond the acts he did. He taught a lot of aspiring artists what he knew until he retired in 2013. Poulter was married to actress Nancy Voder from 1956 until her death in 2020. They had a big effect on both stage and screen. He died on May 21st, 2014 at his home in Los Angeles of lung cancer. He was 94 years old. Franchino was an Italian disc jockey who was born Francesco Principato on February 17, 1953. He was known for making important contributions to the music scene. He died on May 19, 2024, after having problems from a heart attack. He was 71 years old. During his work, Franchino made a lasting impact on the music world. His love of music and skill behind the turntables inspired many people. Even though he isn't here anymore, his influence on the business will always be remembered by fans and other artists. George Logan was a British performer who was born on July 7, 1944, and died on May 20th, France. He was known for his skills as an actor, comedian, and pianist. Logan was born in Rutherglen, Scotland. He got his start in show business by studying piano at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music. In 1965, he moved to London and started performing drag at a gay pub in Marylebone. Logan was best known for his roles as Dr. Avad in Hinge, one half of the popular drag comedy team Hinge and Bracket, along with Patrick Fife as Dame Hilda Bracket. When they first started performing in the early 1970s, their quirky, charming act, which mixed funny banter with musical acts, wowed audiences. When their show An Evening with Hinge and Bracket premiered at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe in 1974, they became very popular very quickly. This led to tours and many BBC radio and TV shows. People all over the world loved how they played classy old ladies singing songs by Gilbert and Sullivan and Noel Coward. Even though they had a short setback because of a tabloid incident in the early 1990s, the pair continued to charm people until Fife died in 2002. In 2016, Logan brought Dr. Hinge back for a short time in the comic opera The Dowager's Oyster. Logan was known for being open about being gay and fighting for LGBTQ rights outside of the film industry. During a long time, he was seeing Louise Perrin, who he married in 2019. Following his retirement, Logan and Perrin moved to France and ran a guest house close to La Dora. Logan died on May 21st. He left behind a legacy of kindness, music, and fun. Edgar Dantes Urick, who went by the stage names Ed Ames and Eddie Ames, was an American pop singer and actress who was very good on both stages and movies. Ames was born on July 9, 1927 in Malden, Massachusetts, to Jewish parents who had come to the United States from Ukraine. He grew up in a big family with 9 brothers, and everyone loved music. Ed Ames got his start in singing with his siblings as part of the Ames Brothers Quartet. In the 1950s, hits like Rag Mop and Sentimental Maine made him a big star. Even though a musicians' union band caused problems at first, the brothers had success with Coral Records and then RCA Victor. When Ames started acting in the early 1960s, he played in Broadway shows like The Crucible and Carnival, showing how versatile he was as a performer. Many people knew him from the TV show Daniel Boone, where he played Mingo. This made him an even more popular comedian. One of the most memorable parts of Ames's career was when he showed off his tomahawk throwing skills on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson in 1965. Which led to a hilariously surprising ending that became a TV classic when he came back to music as a solo artist in the mid-1960s. Ames had hits like My Cup Runneth Over and When the Snow is on the Roses, which showed off his unique baritone voice and lasting appeal. Ames was very active in Jewish issues outside of show business. He was president of the Los Angeles chapter of the Zionist Organization of America. He also kept up with sports because he owned a piece of the Phoenix Suns basketball team. Ames died on May 21st at the age of 95 after a long battle with Alzheimer's. His work in music, TV, and advocacy will be remembered for a long time in the entertainment business and beyond. Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary in Westwood, California, is where he is buried. Keith Urban, a country music superstar who has won a Grammy Award, has been captivating audiences around the world with his amazing skill and electrifying performances for many years. Recent worries about his health, on the other hand, have caused his loyal fans to wonder and worry. We'll look into Urban's personal life, look into the health rumors, and tell the difference between fact and fiction about his health in this piece. There have been rumors about Keith Urban's health, but it's important to make it clear that he is not sick right now. There have been no reports of the artist getting sick or having to cancel any shows. In the world of famous news and social media, rumors can spread quickly. When it comes to Urban's health, it's important to tell the difference between fact and fiction. People have thought about a lot of different possible problems with Urban's health, from illnesses that haven't been made public to stress-related issues. It's important to figure out if these claims are true and what Urban is doing to keep himself healthy in order to get a better idea. Urban's recent surprise showing at the It's a Bloke Thing luncheon in Toowoomba, Australia, shows how much he cares about health awareness. Urban has a personal connection to this event because he has lost family members to prostate cancer. The goal is to raise awareness and money for study into the disease. His attendance at the fundraiser shows how much he cares about supporting causes that improve health and well-being in his neighborhood. So Urban has also been open about his past battles with addiction, especially to cocaine and alcohol. A few weeks ago, he talked about his path to recovery and the problems he faced along the way. Urban's openness about his experiences serves as a lesson of how important it is to put your health first and get help when you need it. Finally, there may be rumors going around about Keith Urban's health, but it's important to stick to the facts and know that he's still working hard to put his health first. Urban's dedication to living a healthy and satisfying life is shown by his participation in health awareness campaigns and his willingness to talk about his past problems.